How's it going, guys? Hadn't posted in a while, so I just had this on my mind while I was driving. Wanted to kind of talk about it for a minute. So, if you live near central Alabama, around the Birmingham, lower Birmingham area, and you really want to get your CDL, you can do it for free with the Central Alabama Community College. You don't, as far as I know, you don't have to live super close. You can drive for a little while. As long as you live in Alabama, you can get to it. It's a regular course, but they will, if you contact them, they will help you get everything scheduled and set up. Talk to Brad Cotney, Robert Ruff, or Beasley. I think Martin is the last name. I'm not 100% sure. They're all great guys. They really know how to train somebody, and I got my CDL with them around 2 years ago, and I've never had any accidents or anything like that. They really will put you on the right path, and they do it a very relaxed way where you're never going to be like, man, stop telling me what to do. Just they take a very hands-off approach to it, but they get what you need done. They get it to you. But then I want to talk a little bit about my experience with, like, my trucking experience as a beginner, and what I wish I knew from the beginning, and maybe it'll help somebody out. So when I first started, I wanted to do flatbedding, and I decided to go with TMC because the Peterbilts, black Peterbilts with the chrome stacks on the side, and home every weekend, it just sounded like a dream. And they were a very good company. Overall, I left because the way that trucking pays, you need 2 years of experience with a company in order to get a mortgage on a house, and I wanted to get a mortgage on this house that I bought. So I left there to get a home everyday job that had a salary position. But it was a really great company for a beginner. And I say that because it is only company trucks now. They do have some grandfathered in owner operators, but they're not taking any more owner operators. So if you ever want to make some more money and buy your own truck, then TMC is not going to be it for you. But if you want to get there, stay for 6 months to a year, until you're ready to move up to something that pays better, then go for it. I averaged between $1,300 and $1,400 a week as a company driver, and I was running very hard doing that. So if you were taking it easy, you're more likely to get somewhere closer to 11 or 12, I'd say. And I really love their trucks. Their trucks drive better than any other truck, as far as I know. I've driven Peterbilts. These are all like the new model trucks, like 2020 and forward, and like the more aerodynamic ones. I haven't driven any long nose trucks, other than when I was like 18. I drove a dump truck without my CDL. It was like a Ford L9000, 18 speed. But ever since I got my CDL, I've only driven automatic trucks with these bigger carriers. And I drove Peterbilt, Freightliner International, but I've never driven Mack, Kenworth, Western Star. I've ridden in a Western Star. It seemed pretty nice. But as far as driving goes, the Peterbilt was fantastic. I loved it, but the headlights were awful. The newer ones may not have that problem. I think the newest one I had was a 22 model. So they may have fixed that. But the headlights were just absolutely dangerous on a country back road at night. You were doing like a max of 45 miles an hour, you were, and even that was just too fast because you couldn't see. And I don't really have like problems seeing at night, at least when I got some good headlights. So that is something to watch for. But TMC will get you home every day or every weekend if that's what you're looking for. And I had a really great time with that company, but I didn't get warned before orientation. Nobody warned me that the tarps were so heavy. They're like 125 pounds. If they get wet, they're like 150. There's 2 of them. You're gonna have to do some tough stuff sometimes, getting those bad boys situated. And currently I'm doing refrigerated with Hirschbach motor lines, which I don't think is a bad company. I don't think they're as good as TMC. I have a lot of issues with, they don't particularly want to fix stuff right away, and that may be because I'm on a dedicated route and we are, kind of struggling for trucks. Sometimes, we have 2 or 3 break down at the same time, then things get tight, but just seems like things, they kind of get glossed over. Like my APU in my truck's gone to the shop, but the APU doesn't have air conditioning. It's got a coolant leak. So I tried to get that fixed, and they just said, we'll worry about that another time. We want to get this truck back on the road. And of course the truck shut off after like, maybe 3 to 5 minutes of idling. So that sucks. Which I do get home every day, but we do sometimes wait for a little while. So whenever you're waiting for 2 or 3 hours, you kind of want to have some air conditioning here in Alabama. And normally where I do my waiting is in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia. But other than that, I would say that nobody ever wants to pick up the phone at nighttime. After like 4:30, nobody wants to pick up the phone. You'll probably be on hold for like 30 minutes. One time I waited on hold for an hour and a half. And I've talked to them about that, and they said that they're working on it, but I haven't seen any improvement yet. I guess we're 5 months into the year now. And that was their end of the year discussion with the drivers they have when they talked to me about that. So, but other than those 2 things, I would say it's an alright company. The pay, I hear, for over-the-road drivers is really good if you do the lease purchase. I've never done it. I do plan on doing it here after I have a kid. My wife agreed to let me go back over the road and make some more money after we have a kid, and they get to be around 1 year old. So I do plan on doing that, and bringing you guys along for the journey, getting some GoPros, and just sharing some adventures, you know what I mean? And I do want to go flatbed again eventually. After I buy my own truck, I'd like to be an owner-operator flatbed, and hopefully make trips from as far south to as far north as the road will take me. One day I got a bucket list, and the Dalton Highway in Alaska is on it. So I grew up watching Ice Road Truckers, so I'm gonna be hitting that highway one day, and you'll be there with me, hopefully. We'll see what it's really like on the Dalton Highway, not what Ice Road Truckers thinks it is, because I know all those TV shows, they just want to show, all the drama, the interesting stuff. So we're there, but I kind of just wanted to give you guys an update and tell you guys that if you live around central Alabama, and getting your CDL to me is a great thing. There is other options out there, of course. But if you really like trucks, like me, and you want to be a truck driver, go for it, man. Central Alabama Community College will get you in and out for free. And of course, there's a lot of companies that will have an agreement with you to get your CDL for free, and they pay you to do it, but you're on a contract with them for probably about a year. I think most of them are. But if you're first starting out, you want to go to a company, I would highly suggest TMC. Hirschbach Motor Lines requires 6 months experience. Those are the only two I have experience with so far. If you guys have any other trucking companies that you really highly suggest, man, that is a pretty dog. I wish I could show y'all that. Leave it in the comments if you suggest any other trucking companies for beginners or just overall, for anybody. If you like who you're working for, give them a shout in the comments.